Class 205 of the Golden Doves. We're on page 126. I think it's class 205. It's either 205 or 206. One of those. All right, page 126. That I do know. It is noteworthy that derasha and mesira are the key terms used by the rabbis to describe the instruction of Ma'aseh Bereshit, the procedure of Genesis, and Ma'aseh Merkabah, the procedure of the chariot. So these things, of course, are the esoteric aspects of Jewish thinking. Ma'aseh Merkabah, Ma'aseh Bereshit. The two pillars of Sitrei Torah, the mysteries of Torah. So the Sitrei Torah are not just exclusively those matters, but those matters are certainly fundamental in the knowledge of the Sitrei Torah. The teacher surrenders to the pupil the heads of chapter. So the teacher is moser to the talmid. So if there's a talmid that's ra'ui, the teacher is going to be moser. You notice the word mesira, right? Like in the Torah Shebe'al Peh, we have mesira. So the teacher will be moser, not the substantive material. In halacha, we would moser to the talmid the actual substance of what's being taught, halacha, whatever it is, agadah, gemara. Here, you're moser, you surrender the Rashi Perakim, the heads of chapter, or basic axioms. So you provide the basic axioms to the talmid, and that's all you give the talmid. And then the student must understand in his own mind, that is, he must formulate his own derasha. So here, the teacher is moser, the Rashi Perakim. He gives the talmid the outline of the axioms through the act of mesira. And the talmid has to be doresh those axioms, those Rashi Perakim, and complete the knowledge. Maimonides uses the term ta'awil, derasha, to describe the understanding of classical Jewish mysticism. Interesting. So ta'awil derasha is related to how we understand classical Jewish mysticism. The idea of language comprising two autonomous yet semiologically connected systems leads directly to the nature of metaphor. So we know that the language functions, again, at the sharach level, at the peshat level. I'll give you an example. When Yitzhak Avinu asks Abraham, Avinu, he says, Daddy, where is Ayah Aseh Le'olah? Vayom Elo Abraham, Elohim Yireh Lo Aseh Le'olah Beni. He says, God will reveal to us the Seh Le'olah. So that's a sharach level. The sharach level is, my son, God will reveal to us the particular Seh that God chooses to be brought on the Mizbeach as a Korban. But it has a double meaning, it has a deeper meaning. Elohim Yireh Lo Aseh Le'olah Beni. God will choose the Korban that He wants to choose. Beni, you my son. You my son are the Korban. So you see how the double meaning? So both meanings are autonomous, but they're semiologically related in as much as, or connected, because they're based on the same words. Yeah. So this leads us to the nature of metaphor. Mishalim. Shlomo Melech says, Lehavin mashal wumlisa. Right, so one of the purposes of the book of Mishlei is to open up our minds so that we can better understand the meshalim of the Torah, or the melisot of the Torah. Language is essentially metaphoric because the same element, the word, functions at two different levels, the semiotic and the semantic. So words are essentially metaphors because it's not math where you say x equals 3 and y equals 1 and therefore x plus y equals 4, something like that. There's a precise identity. In language, the identity between the signifier and signified is not precise because you have the semiotic level, which is what do the words mean? Okay, so the dictionary meaning of the word, but there can be many dictionary meanings of words. But the dictionary meaning of this word in this context means this. I just said in this context. But then when you take the context, you see how together the words create a new meaning, as Elohim Olah Beni. So taking the words at one level, God will show us the Korban. Don't worry, my son. Other is God will show us the Korban. It's you, my son. By virtue of using the same semiological system, words, language, these levels act like Borgesian mirrors, reflecting, thereby distorting and deflecting the intention of each other. Because the meaning of the Shalach level, my son, God will show us the Korban, that kind of distorts the other meaning because you're using the word my son in a way that's opposed to the deeper meaning. So these like mirrors reflecting off each other, but they're also distorting each other. What does Beni mean? Right? So, machloket, kind of, between the two levels. Metaphor then is the intention at one level as perceived from the perspective of the other. Right. It's a metaphor only because Elohim Leolah Beni means my son, God will show us the Korban, don't worry. From that perspective, the other explanation is a metaphor, right? And vice versa. You have to make a choice. You start here or you start there. Well, if you start here, there is the metaphor. If you start there, here is the metaphor. Because language includes two independent systems, semiotic, lexical meaning of words. What do words mean? Semantics, what do the combination of words mean? It is self-expressive and reflective. So language is a system that can reflect upon itself and express itself, because I'm using words to describe what language is about. I can't use math to describe what math is about. I can't use music to describe what music is about, but I can use words to describe what words are about. And that's very amok what my father is saying. It's because you have these two independent systems that distort each other, that reflect each other, that language is amenable to being explained by language. It can be expressed about itself precisely because it comprises two distinct structures acting as mirrors reflecting one another.